Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks POSTGAME Podcast. If you tuned out, you missed a lot. The Hawks won 4-3 in the shootout.
Hell yeah.
Oof. Despite being outshot 40-21 in this game, the Blackhawks come out ahead in a game they had no business winning. I'm Jay Zawoski, Greg Boyson, Mario Tirabassi. Nate's here. Sarah's here. The gang's all here. We're glad you're here too. Do us a favor and hit that like button on the YouTube page for us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you. Make sure you are following or subscribed on your favorite podcast app and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Fellas, we have a ton to get to. I know we've got our poll open for the 4-star of the game. I feel like this one might be close, so let's get to it right away. Your 3 stars, number 3, Tyler Bertuzzi with the game-winning goal with 31 seconds to go.
Game tying.
With the empty net. Game tying goal, thank you. Number 2 star, Philip Deneau had a goal and an assist for the Kings. And Alex Laferriere with 2 goals. He's the number 1 star. So here are your nominees for 4-star. Get him in. Peter Mrazek stopped 37 of 40 LA shots. Nick Foligno with a goal and a fight. Lucas Reichel with an assist. He was a +2 and had the biggest blue line, if you pay attention to the blue lines. And Ryan Donato with the shootout winner and the primary assist on the game-tying goal. So lots of good options. Get those votes in. We'll reveal the winner at the end of the show.
Options changed a lot different.
Yeah.
Midway through that third period.
Yeah, we were going to just do Peter Mrazek 3 times. And then the Blackhawks woke up and scored goals and stuff and made that fun. I want to give credit to Luke Richardson and his coaching staff for the great game plan today.
Yeah, they came up with it.
Let the Kings skate circles around you for 40 minutes.
Tire them out.
They get tired.
Then they get tired, and then you surprise them with a shot on goal because you haven't had any of the first 2 periods, and you win. Great game plan. Perfectly executed.
It worked for Muhammad Ali back in the 70s. Just rope-a-dope him and then beat him in the final few rounds.
This looked a lot like 70s hockey for a while.
The Blackhawks are 2-1 on this road trip, and that's what they should be. They should have beat the Sharks, and they had no business winning this game. So it's evened out.
Yes.
But this definitely makes you feel better after that Sharks game. It also makes you like, damn, if they just could have won that Sharks game.
It makes it,
but, yeah, not a great game, but a great result. And in the end, that's all that matters. You got the win. They're not, there's not, there's a lot to complain about in this game. There's a lot to be, what is going on here? But you won. And that's, this team needs wins.
I mean, I think the 3 of us came prepared for this post-game show, ready to flip over some tables and yell, and that still might happen at some point because it is deserved. This is one of their poorest efforts of the season. And as we were watching the second intermission, Tony Granato was basically flat out calling the Hawks out and saying, this is unacceptable. They're getting outworked. They're getting outplayed. I think he flat out said they're bad. I think he flat out used those words, they're bad. And then I heard, Kaylee kind of made the point too, Kaylee Chelios, of like, this is the first game this year where they've really looked this bad. And I was like, is that really true? Because I've felt myself frustrated a lot this year so far. But I think this is the first game that was basically a stinker for the first 45 minutes.
This is the first game where they basically were a non-factor in 40 minutes.
Losing every board battle, losing every puck battle,
I mean,
getting outworked.
There were some frustrating games, but they were at least like competing. And this one, we were like, where's the effort level here?
Yeah. There was nothing there.
And then it's a Nick Foligno play that flips everything over.
Well, the second intermission, Darren Pang was talking with assistant coach Derek Plant, and he basically was just like, they're not winning battles.
Derek Plant saying this.
Derek Plant, yeah. He was saying they're not winning battles, and they're what was the exact quote? Anyway, he basically said it comes down to basic fundamentals that they were not executing. He said the execution was poor and that they weren't winning battles. Like if you can't execute simple things, fundamental things in hockey, and you're losing almost every individual battle, whether it's along the boards or it's in front of the net or it's a stick battle, if you're losing all of those things and you don't have your fundamentals, you're going to have the effort that we saw in the first 50 minutes of this game, basically. And then they get some momentum, they get some sustained play, whether it's the Kings kind of taking their foot off the gas, make a team pay if they do that. And credit to the Blackhawks, they didn't give up in this game, in a game that they easily could have, that they were outmatched. When it got to 3-2, about 6 minutes left in the game, we were just like, well, that'll probably do it.
Yeah.
Like, all the momentum is gone. Kings back in the lead. It'll be, another furious barrage at the end of the third period, but they'll come up short and we'll say, tried, but didn't work. But credit to them. They kept fighting for it. And Tyler Bertuzzi comes up big with the game-tying goal. And, they have a couple chances in overtime, get it done in the shootout. Like, the result definitely makes you feel better about everything, but still, like, it was a rough 2.5 periods.
I just found myself, and just for those that didn't catch the game and are just catching the post game, because we do know there are a significant amount of people in Chicago that can't see the game, so we should catch you up.
I hadn't heard about that.
It took the Hawks 11 minutes into this game to get their first official shot on goal.
Yeah.
11 minutes. At the end of the first period, shot attempts were, hold on, I lost my thing. 26-13 for the Kings. Shots on goal were 12-4.
Yeah.
Like it's and then after the second, shot attempts were 46-24 for the Kings. Shots on goal were 23-9 or 23-11. I'm sorry. Like that's
23-8.
They were getting just blitzed this entire game. And Peter Mrazek kept them in it, made big saves when he had to. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, like you mentioned, like, the Foligno goal is exactly what we've been screaming for is, all right, I don't have an ideal look at the net right now, but screw it. I'm just going to throw it on net and see what happens. And he crashes the net.
1-on-4.
Exactly.
And just shot.
And just like, all right, well, I don't have a better option here. I'm not going to make a backhand pass to nobody, so let me just flip it on net and see what happens. It falls in front of the goalie, and boom, Darcy Kemper. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah,
it falls right in front of him, and Foligno crashes the net, and he scored. That's how it's done. And the Bertuzzi game-tying goal, he's in front of the net. He's outworking the defender, gets a stick on the ice, back in the net. It doesn't have to be Globetrotters, but boy, in overtime, that was nice, though, that Bedard move.
Yeah, well, when you get to overtime, it becomes a little bit more Globetrottery because there's more space to work with. But yeah, even the Craig Smith goal, the 2-2 tying goal, that's an impressive rush by Lucas Reichel. And then he gets the puck to Craig Smith, and what does Craig Smith do? He doesn't dust it off with an extra handle. He just boom, right on net. Really high quality shot, beats Kemper. Like, I feel like after that Foligno goal, Kemper just started to get shaky on every puck that was on net by the Blackhawks. Like it was just like we were watching the game and it was just like, throw it on net. Like he's starting to scramble now. Like he wasn't getting a lot of work throughout the entire game. And then the back half of the third period, Blackhawks started to just put things on net and get better chances, and Kemper starts scrambling around. So yeah, I mean they made the most of the opportunities that they were getting towards the end of the game. We've been screaming about play simple, get pucks on net, get some rebounds, get some luck around the 5 to 10 foot radius around the net, and they started to get that late in the game, and lo and behold, it's effective.
I know. I'm sure we'll get into it more in depth later, but like what we saw at Bedard do in that overtime shift, where he basically said, "Screw it, I'm going to do it myself." Play like that during regulation.
Yeah, because for the first 60, he did not.
Yeah.
More of that. Take that same attitude going, you know what? I'm going to do this, because that killer instinct hasn't been there the last few games. At 5-on-5, in regulation, on the power play. Mm-hmm. Do that. Like, he looked pit. Like, he was just like, give me the puck back. I'm scoring here. Yeah. And he almost did twice. Bring that to the first period tomorrow.
Yes.
And the second period, the third period.
F you, I'm going to beat you. You have to stop me.
Need that. Yeah. Need that. Connor Bedard needs to get that killer instinct where every time he gets the puck, he's like, I'm either going to score a goal or I'm going to draw the defense in and let someone else score. Yeah. Like, be that guy.
Or I'm going to put off your goalie's collarbone, so then next time I shoot high, he's going to duck out of the way of it.
Right.
Like, that's the mind. He's got to have that killer mindset. And I saw Phil Thompson tweet out, like, Bedard is frustrated on the bench, slamming his stick again. Should be frustrated with himself because that was right after he lifts the stick behind the Kings net, gets the puck, and then just decides to just walk into traffic.
Yeah.
Like a drunk guy on New Year's Eve. Like, it's like, dude, shoot. We're watching the game. We're going, shoot.
That was second period. Yeah, he gets the puck, skates it out, has 10 feet with no one around him at, in the circle, not close to the dot, but for whatever reason decides I'm going to skate to the slot. And I know, yes, you score the most goals from the middle of the ice.
Frank Sarvelli told us that.
Right.
Sure.
After that play, though, maybe, but like he skates directly into all 5 Los Angeles Kings.
Into the defense.
Awareness, my child. Awareness. Yeah. Look around and go, I'm going to, like, your shot is good enough to, it wasn't like an impossible angle. It wasn't a Patrick Kane, Philadelphia angle. You were below the dot. He definitely could have, and you had, there
could have made a more challenging
There were a
play.
couple of Hawks sweaters near the net, too.
Yeah.
Even if you don't score, you get a chance for a rebound and some havoc, and God knows what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. That play frustrated me more than any other play today.
Well, and it's not just us. Someone in the chat mentioned Troy Murray was saying on the radio, throw the puck at the net. There was a time in the third period where Wyatt Kaiser had the puck on the boards, and Darren Payne goes, shoot it. Shoot it. Like, just you're on your forehand. There's nowhere else to go with it. The Kings have you shut down along the boards, so you're not going to get it deep. The middle of the ice is cut off. Just take it.
Like the football analogies. Sometimes the best quarterbacks in leagues are the ones that take what's given to them.
Them. You don't have to throw a 50-yard bomb every play.
No, sometimes you just put the puck on net. Shoot it.
I know
it's better than the pass to nobody.
And I know it becomes like, you go to a hockey game and you hear the crowd screaming, shoot, 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 and you roll your eyes because there's a context to it usually, right? But, like, it has been epidemic with this team.
You're going to start hearing that from the press box soon.
Yeah.
Not just from us. Shoot! Come on.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's coming from Luke Richardson saying we need the guys to shoot more. And it's coming from trained eyes like Troy Murray and Darren Pang, and it's coming from us and the fan base, and when that many voices are all in unison saying this team needs to shoot more, it is surprising that the 23 guys on the roster are the last to kind of be like, yeah, we should probably shoot more. Like, I don't
coaching.
Sure. I hope the team, now I will say for this game and for the first basically 2.5 periods of play, it is hard to shoot the puck on net when you don't have the puck. The Kings dominated this game. If this game had gone the way it was for the first 45, 50 minutes of the game, and Kings won 3-0 with an empty net goal at the end of, regulation and all that stuff, like, I would have been like, yeah, the Kings are a talented team. They dominated the Blackhawks, an inferior team that wasn't playing well. Would have made sense that they only had 10 or 12 shots on goal or whatever it was, but the fact that, they were able to kind of fight back and make the most of the opportunities that they had when they got possession, that was good to see. So do credit the Kings for, being able to control the puck. That majority of that first period was played in the Kings offensive zone. Like, the Blackhawks barely exited the zone.
Half-court hockey.
Yeah, barely exited the zone the entire first period. And now the penalties early on in the game against the Blackhawks didn't help. But, the Kings definitely were, they're the more talented team. So when they had possession, they were keeping it away effectively from the Blackhawks. But Blackhawks did, when they finally started generating some shots, generating some momentum, they made the most of it.
All right, we got to hit the break zone here. Stay tuned through the break zone because we have some exciting news about our first takeover of the season, and you better act fast. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at ComEd.
Yeah, ComEd. When you need more power, more energy for your business, you better call ComEd because they can save money and help you save you money and help you become more energy efficient, guys. Right? Did you know that?
I did
Greg,
not know
specifically?
that. I did not know that. I usually tune out this read, so I didn't know that.
Well, listen up, because the energy efficiency program from ComEd can help find up to 35% in energy savings for businesses.
Wow.
Holy jumping.
So what does a business have to do for that amazing stuff?
All you got to do is sign up for a free facility assessment at comed.com/biz.
I can't understand why more businesses aren't doing that.
I can't understand it either. Maybe they forgot what the website is called.
Idiots.
Oh, yeah. Is that comed.com/biz? Comed.com/biz? Comed.com
/biz, yes. It is comed.com/biz. Terms and conditions do apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by a customer's energy usage and rate. And the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
/biz.
Which I hear is a good thing.
That is a good thing.
You definitely want to be legal and legit.
Yes. And if you want some legal and legit carpeting, I don't know, it's a bad transition. It's fine.
That's fine.
With Empire today,
It's not our worst.
you're going to get it. And you're going to get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, not the wrong product for your needs. Quick and professional installation, not slow and unprofessional installation.
I don't want that.
And a low price guarantee, not a high price guarantee. That would be stupid. With their virtual floor designer, it's a great way to see how new floors are going to look in any space, because even though you're going to get a great deal from Empire, it's still a big investment, and you want to know how it's going to look. So use that virtual floor designer so you are 100% sure the floors you're buying look good in your home. You don't want to get like orange shag carpeting if you have red paint on the walls. It doesn't make sense.
It would burn your eyes.
It's going to clash. It's not 1974 anymore. Empire today prides themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floor where they use their floors so they can see exactly what the new floors will look like in their home's lighting decor so they can make an informed decision. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 discount when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. All right, as we always do, we're going to get to our super chats here in a minute, but our first takeover of the year is a week from tomorrow, Sunday, November 10th, Hawks and Wild on sale right now at allchgo.com. And guess what? This time around, you're not just getting a ticket to the game. You're getting the full game day experience at 3:30. We're all going to meet at Fifth Third Arena. Pregame skate, pregame meal, tour of the locker room, tour of the workout facilities. You're going to see parts of the Fifth Third Arena that the general public don't usually get to see. So head over to allchgo.com to get your tickets.
The private parts of the Fifth Third Arena.
Take it easy now.
Well, that's in the locker room. Presented by our friends at Circus Sports. And, of course, if you're a diehard, you're going to save 20% on this event and every event. And we have a limited time here on our diehard promotional offer, $48 for the year. So you sign up, you get a shirt, you get $15 off your ticket. Boom, it basically just paid for itself with one event and the sign up. So do it. There's only a few days left on that promotion, so take advantage. $48 for the year. You'll get a $55 Blackhawks ticket, and that includes all the pregame festivities at Fifth Third Arena, so don't miss it.
Evil Bill says attendees are skating. Everybody's welcome to.
Yep.
They have skates there you can rent, or you can bring your own.
I will not be skating because
I don't do that.
Fat guy on skates equals eventual meme.
Yes, and if you already have tickets to that takeover, like our buddy Dan,
nice.
You can. We'll definitely stop by, say hello. I think 312.
312
This is the section.
312, baby.
312.
We don't have to.
I've heard of that before.
Never heard of them. It should be a fun day. Takeovers are always a good time, and the Blackhawks, our group here, we always sell out our takeovers. So make sure you're jumping on it quickly.
Yes.
We don't have. We never seem to have those last minute please buy our ticket pushes. So I would say, we're a week away. I would say get your ticket.
Yeah. Quick turnaround. We understand, but no excuse not to act now.
Yeah.
Grab your ticket this weekend. Don't wait till next weekend because they'll be gone.
And Circus Sports partnering with us on this is what makes it such an affordable event. So make sure you download the app and all that great stuff. Support Circa because they support us.
That jersey patch money is really paying off.
Yes. And speaking of supporting us, we got some super chats we want to get to. We got a couple queued up here, Nate. All right, let me see.
Yes,
we got Brother Seamus with the $2 super chats. This is my 1-year-old son, Zio, and I are watching you guys. Hey, Zio, what's up, man?
Nice. He's probably wondering where the hell's Bluey.
We're way better than Bluey.
Not to a 1-year-old.
Much more profanity. And a $5 super chat for Gaming for Veterans. Hawks would never have won this game last year. Impressive win.
Yeah, I mean, this team, they're as much as they've been frustrating and the results haven't been, 2-point efforts. They've been in pretty much every game. Like we were saying earlier, like 1 or 2 stinker games so far this year, which is at this point last year much less than what we were seeing to start last year. I think last year was very clearly like, oof, this is gonna be a long year. These games, even though they on the losing end of some of them, I think the efforts within each 60 minutes have given you at least a little bit of hope each game, because it's not like I don't feel like we're coming away from most games kind of just throwing your hands in the air and being like, this team is crap. It's more or less like I think our frustrations are coming from they show that they're better than what they do in most losses. They show for a period of time in a game like they can play, like the third period against San Jose, like they can play like that. We're just frustrated that it just doesn't happen for an entire 60 minutes. And last year it was just like we're just asking for 5 good minutes of hockey. Now it's like we're asking for this 10 minutes of good hockey to extend for a whole period, a whole game. Like we know that there's more there, and we just want to.
Last year was we had Connor's Corner. What did Bedard do?
Right,
and that's what mattered in the game, and we all knew it. Now there's expectations, and I think I'm not gonna do this post game show and as satisfied as far with the result and like pat these guys on the back. They played like ass for 45 minutes.
Yes, they did.
And there's no excuse for it.
I'm sure that's exactly what they're all going to say.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing is like you're saying, Mario. Like we know for a fact there's better hockey in them, and it's not just that; it's the same crap. When they play poorly, it's the same thing all the time, and it is no longer just a symptom of effort or of talent. Rather, like yes, they are not in a Stanley Cup caliber roster. Of course, they're not a playoff team roster. This is a team, as we said all freaking summer as we previewed this team, this is a team that will be competitive in most of the games they're in. Has that been the fact? Yes. Have they gotten the results they deserve? Probably not. Tonight's is probably a good example.
It evens out,
Yeah, I guess you hope it evens out, but what my fear is with this one is they certainly don't deserve to win this game, gutsy effort or not. Gutsy effort should be 100% of the games. I don't care. You shouldn't be rewarded for gutsy effort. Gutsy effort is the baseline for me. Go out there and play your ass off and let the chips fall where they may. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you went out there and played hard. That should not be a special mention. Like, woo, what a great effort. What a gutsy effort. No. Good teams play gutsy every night. It's hockey.
The gutsy effort was post-trade deadline 2022, the Buddy Robinson games and stuff like that, when there was literally no talent on the team. Now it's like, you guys are NHL veterans. You've got multiple guys on this team that have played 500 or more NHL games.
Yeah.
You know what's expected. You know what to do. Do it on a nightly basis. Sure, every team's going to lay an egg and have nights where you're just like nothing works. Every team does that. The Florida Panthers will do that at least once or twice this year. That happens. But you know what is expected of you. This is a veteran team. It's one of the oldest teams in the league now. Play like it.
Yeah, and it's the other thing that concerned me too is you have a game against San Jose. You probably deserve to win. You didn't. You lose to the worst team in hockey, and then your response to the next game is to come out like they did in this one, and that to me was concerning, and it still is. Again, regardless of result of this game, I don't like that. I don't like that happened. Like they should have been chomping at the bit to come out in this game and get 2 points and to force their will on the Kings, and instead they're like, Thank you, sir. May I have another for 45 minutes?
Yeah,
That was rough.
you're right. I mean, you wanted to be like, oh, okay, take all that momentum you had in the third period in San Jose. Yeah,
Carry
you
it
didn't
over.
get the goal, but that was your best period of hockey you played this season. And then you come out and you lay a stinker in the first period. I mean, they never, I don't want to use this as an excuse, but they never really got anything going in that first period because, and I jokingly said it, but I kind of was half joking it when we were watching it. Like that garbage icing call on Ilya Mikheyev
Awful.
kind of flipped it around because the refs had a bad game today. That
Becoming
play,
a trend.
The Pat Maroon interference call in the first period was bad. Then you had what should have got an instigator,
No instigator.
on the Foligno fight, and then even the Hawks were on the right side of a bad non-call. Before Bertuzzi tied the game, the puck hit the net and they didn't call it, and the play continued and it worked out. Glad they didn't make that call, but literally in the first period, Mikheyev dumps the puck in, beats his two guys down.
In front. He's got two guys behind him,
and he's about to touch the puck, and they blow the play dead. Then they go back to the other end of the ice, and it was it that shift or was it the next shift where they got the penalty that led to the first Kings goal? Now you're down, and then you get the bad call on Maroon, who was just trying to leave the zone, and Jeannot skated into his backside, and he got called, and then you're back on the kill. So, like, it was stacked against them, and that's fine. That's going to happen to you, but then you never got anything going in the second period. The second period was actually worse than the first period, and the first period was bad.
I mean, at least there was an excuse in the first. Where
right,
you
had that,
with some calls,
and you couldn't get the flow of the game going. But you start fresh in the second period, and then you give up that goal late in the period. We were all kind of like, "That's over. They're not coming back to that." So their credit, they came out and had that really good 5 or 6 minute span there where they tied the game. Then the Kings kind of took it back over, and then at the end they get the goal again. But it's just like, you need the consistency. Like, you don't need to play like, if they could play all 60 minutes of every game like they played the third period Sharks, this team would be maybe the greatest team in NHL hockey history. You're not going to be able to do that, but just the consistency. Yeah, there's going to be bad shifts. There's going to be bad periods. There's going to be nights where things just aren't going your way. But if it's because of what the other team is doing, you can live with that.
Yeah.
But if it's because you're taking multiple shifts off, you're taking periods off, you're not into the game mentally, then that's on you.
Yeah, and we should spend some time maybe after the next break zone talking about Teuvo Teravainen tonight, because he was demoted to the third line, was almost scratched based on practice yesterday. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Someone in the chat was asking if there's a code for the takeover. If you're a diehard, there is a code. You just got to make sure you sign in.
You're signed in,
and you'll then see the diehard code on the event page. But other than that, it is a standard $70 ticket for the game and the pregame meetup, and then $55 if you're a diehard.
Yeah.
So yeah, just jump on there and do that. Bertuzzi, we got to talk about him. And Greg, you were kind of the biggest doubter about him off season and coming into this year.
I tell you, I said it while we were watching the game. Over the past, ever since coming back from that season beginning road trip, so the last 7 games, he's won me over. I'm a Tyler Bertuzzi fan. I really like what I've seen out of it. He's been playing well.
Cut that up.
He's doing exactly what you would hope he would do. I wasn't a fan when the rumors started coming. I wasn't a fan of the 4-year deal. I still don't know. I love the 4 years, but whatever. But the way he has played, and it started with, having some success on the power play, and he carried that over to 5-on-5. But if your game plan to success, if your recipe to win hockey games is to play simple, gritty hockey, he plays the simplest, grittiest of hockey games. He's your guy.
Him and Jake Wallman. All right, got to hit the break zone again. We come back, a couple more super chats to get to, and let's spend some time on Teuvo Teravainen. It definitely deserves some conversation. That's coming up next on CHGO Blackhawks. But first, look, y'all, we got a stressful week coming up. Gonna be a lot of people yelling at each other, a lot of people stressed out, some people dunking on people, some people unhappy they're being dunked upon. It's gonna be a really great week for all of us to choose chill. And when you do, the perfect accessory is an icy cold Coors Light, because you know by now it's mountain cold refreshment. Aside from elections, stressful hockey games, lots of things to work us up. There are plenty of chances in life to make things better by choosing chill. So do it with a Coors Light. And when those mountains are blue, it is as cold as the Rockies. Make the most out of the times that you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart right now by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. There we go.
Nice.
And those Connor Bedard moves in overtime, did that give you a special tingly feeling?
Yes.
Did that make you excited?
I haven't felt that in years.
Do you have problems getting that feeling when you need it the most?
No.
Well, that's where Blue Chew, our friends, come in. Blue Chew gives you
Cover the 1-year-old's ears.
He's fine. Blue Chew gives men longer lasting and stronger erections so you can perform at your very best. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost. And it comes in a chewable form, hence the name Blue Chew, not Blue Swallow.
Oh,
the process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com,
One leads to the other.
consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you're gonna get that prescription in just days. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Get it? That's a play on words.
I don't get it.
I'll explain it to you after the show.
Okay, thanks.
And they've got a special deal just for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. You just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Don't take the whole box at once.
Oh, my
and
God.
we thank Blue Chew for
jeez.
sponsoring the podcast.
Call your medical professionals if you do.
What would happen? Yeah, I don't want to find out.
I'm not sure I'm calling a doctor if that's
Yes.
something never mind.
No, let's not do that. Let's
Different
not do
show.
that.
Different show.
Yeah. All right. A couple super chats I saw came in right after we read the first ones. Alton V, there it is. $5 super chat says, keep up the great work as always. Great WLFG. Thanks, Alton.
I have to laugh at that. You can see that?
Oh, yeah. The
Never
social
quit.
media graphic, the never quit.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
Well, I mean, they didn't quit.
No, they didn't.
they
Luke's
just-
boys don't quit, right? TM?
They gotta start. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be good.
What's the opposite of what would be the term for always start instead of never quit? What would be the way to
I think you just did it.
Always start.
Always start, yeah.
always start and always finish?
All right,
Brought
let's
to you by Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
All right, let's get to Teuvo here on the third line tonight. 12:18 of ice time. I'm looking at that. I believe that is
It's
second
pretty
lowest
low.
on the team, third lowest on the team, behind only Isaac Phillips and Craig Smith. Let's see, 7 seconds of power play time for Teuvo.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
1 shot, 3 shot attempts, 3 giveaways, and there were some brutal giveaways from Teuvo in this one.
Yeah. Late in the third period, he had 2 on 1 shift, and it was just like, well, Joey Anderson's playing tomorrow. Yeah, it was. Look, I know sending a guy down to the third pair with Mikheyev and Dickinson, not necessarily the easiest way to jumpstart some offense for a guy like Teuvo Teravainen, but yeah, I mean, I think it's part of the accountability that we've talked about with this team and what they need to show to these veterans and say, like, these are the standards and expectations, and if you're not meeting them, your opportunities and your ice time are going to be tweaked. And I think with Teravainen, we've seen Lucas Reichel respond by really changing the way he's played from the reason that he was scratched coming out of preseason and training camp to the way that he's playing now. Like, if he was doing this in training camp, he'd be in the top 6. Like, he would have started the year maybe as a second line center. Who knows? But getting scratched to begin the year. He's played his way back into the lineup. He's played very well, very effectively. And
5 points in 8 games.
And now Teravainen is kind of hopefully going to receive that message of like, you're not performing up to what we need you to do, what we expect of you. You're going to get less opportunity, and you need to make the most of the opportunity you're getting. And tonight was not really the greatest night for him in that first time being out on that third line. He did get the goal in the shootout, which was good. That's a positive note to kind of exit the game on, but it wasn't really a good game for him.
Might have kept him in the lineup for tomorrow.
Might have.
Yeah, there's got to be something going on with him physically. Like, you don't go from being as dominant as he was to start the season to just a complete non-factor seemingly overnight.
Yeah.
And turnovers are bad and you don't want those, but it's I think several of those came from him just trying to make something happen. He's a quiet guy. I think sometimes quiet guys can be misconstrued as guys that lack intensity. You're not going to play for Rod Brind'Amour for, 6 years? Whatever it was. If you're not an intense competitor.
More than 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it was.
Yeah,
like, you're not going to be a counted on leader for Rod Brind'Amour if you don't play hard every night. And that's why, just looking at the way he started to the way he's playing now, I think there's something physically wrong. And I don't have any inside info. None of us do, but it doesn't make sense to me that Teuvo is just all of a sudden to be like, well, that was a fun first 4 games. Now I'm just going to piss off until and play my contract off. That's just not the kind of player or person he is.
No, I agree. But I mean, we don't know for sure what the deal is, but he is the second highest paid forward, or I should say third highest paid forward. But the second highest paid forward are the guys Kyle Davidson signed this summer. Taylor Hall is the highest paid forward at $6 million, but Teuvo $5.4 million, Tyler Bertuzzi $5.5 million. You're paid to be one of the offensive leaders on this team. That's what you were brought here to be, and it just hasn't been there for the last 6-7 games. And you could argue without 2 power play goals, it really hasn't been there a whole lot, period, at 5-on-5. So, nobody's a bigger Teuvo Teravainen fan than myself, except maybe you. And it's 12 games. Hockey players do this. How many times did Patrick Sharp be invisible for weeks at a time?
A very streaky player.
Yeah, I mean, but Teuvo, to me, I don't think is that kind of streaky player, but this was a move today. Like, okay, you're not playing good enough to be on our top line. You're not going to be on the top line. That's great. That's what I want to see from my coach is, you don't just put the 3 highest contracts on the top line. You got to earn it. And Donato earned that spot. He's not coming off that line anytime soon.
I don't think so.
So, Teuvo's on a line where you're going to have to play a little harder with Dickinson and Mikheyev. That's the defensive shutdown line. It's not the perfect role for him, but he can handle it. He's got to adapt to it. And he's got to start showing up. Once he starts producing, he will be back on that Bedard line. There's no doubt about it. He was brought in here to play with Connor Bedard, and he will again soon. But he's a veteran. He's earned his time. He's earned his chance to work it out and get his game back going. But today was a message to him, and he didn't really respond well. That was disheartening. Maybe that shootout goal boosts his confidence. Lucas says, "Okay, I know you've been struggling, but you're still one of my best guys when it comes to this. Go out and win us a hockey game," and he did that.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe that carries over to tomorrow, and you see a little more jump in his step, and you get a point tomorrow, and then things start rolling.
Yeah, I think also when you have a game like this where everybody was so bad for so long that you this is one win or lose, you kind of just ball it up and throw it in the trash. You can't really take too much away from a game like this where it was just so awful. But this is now 7 games without a point for Teuvo, and it's concerning. Now, speaking of earning your opportunity on the top line, a guy who a lot of us had penciled in as top line left wing number 1, Tyler Bertuzzi, is like the only guy who hasn't really gotten a shot to do it yet. Is that chance coming for him now?
I don't know. At some point, I want to get some consistency with Connor Bedard. Otherwise, it's just like where we were last year, where every game it's 2 different guys. I'd love to get some consistency there. You've got Kurashev playing up there, and a week ago, everybody was screaming for Kurashev to be on there, and now people are saying for him to be scratched again. It's very "what have you done for me lately" business this is, but
Kurashev had the Reichel line tonight.
Yeah, he's not
zeros, -1, 1 shot, one other shot attempt.
It's
not,
not,
he's not noticeable.
It's not good. I don't know what's going on there with Philip Kurashev. He started the year off those first couple games with Taylor Hall looking good, and then so you've got guys here on this team, plenty of guys who are not pulling their weight, and this is part of the problem. Teuvo, yes, he's been struggling. Kurashev's been struggling. Taylor Hall, I'm just waiting for Taylor Hall to do something besides skate at full speed directly into the defense.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's flashing occasionally. Like there's one moment a game where you're like, oh, damn, there it is. Today he had a shot and
I need more
5 total shot attempts.
I need more. It seems that every time he got the puck today, he'd show you that speed, which you love, but then he skates directly into the teeth of the defense, and nothing happens. I need to see some more from there. There's lots up and down this lineup. We know it's there. The track records are there. Start playing to the back of the hockey card.
So someone mentioned this during the game, and it was actually a pretty decent point. Like, you've got a lot of guys here on short-term deals, Maroon and Smith, and to a lesser extent TJ Brody. These are guys who throughout their careers have been considered like great teammates, great warriors, all that sort of stuff. But like, is there sort of a natural maybe lack of investment from some of these veteran guys? And look, you watch the games, and Craig Smith and Pat Maroon are playing hard, but like, do they feel like Blackhawks yet? Does that make sense? Like, do they feel like when they look at the crest and they look at their teammates that those are guys that they're going to give everything they've got for? Right? I think that takes time to develop. And it's probably not 12 games. I don't know what the number is. I know some guys are thrown right into a playoff race after the trade deadline and take it on right away, but it's because there's that that golden ring at the end of the year that everybody's fighting for. Like, I don't know. I just wonder if that's part of it. Is it doesn't feel like a team yet. It feels like a bunch of guys on a roster right now. Not to say it can't get there, but I wonder if it's just so many new faces, so many guys that have never played before, learning each other's personalities and, things like this, games like this, where everybody's on the bus, everybody's happy, everybody's celebrating, everybody's ready to go. The locker room everybody's laughing, saying, boy, we sucked ass in that one, but we got the win, high-fiving. These are the sort of things and road trips that can bring teams together. But I wonder if that's part of it. Just a lack of, when I say chemistry, I don't mean it on the ice. It's just, I'm in a room with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to that, but I think, you're a dozen games into the year. Like, when does that flip over?
That's a good question.
I'm sure they're asking that in Rockford too, or not Rockford. I saw it on the chat. Sorry, Nashville. That's a team that went out and spent a ton of money and brought in, Stamkos, Marcia Show, and Brady Shea, and then they're in last place.
Yeah,
in the NHL. They've got the fewest points in the NHL right now. Like,
how they do.
That's bad. So I'm sure there's a lot of talk there is, don't worry, these are veteran guys. We're going to get it together. But when is that point where's the cutoff of, okay, you guys still have time to get it together, or you're just flat out underperforming? What's the,
we're getting there. If it's not there, you're getting there.
I mean, to me, with 2 long road trips already, if you haven't figured out who your buddies are by now, it's not happening.
Isn't it Elliot Friedman says, is it Thanksgiving? Is that his marker where it says
his marker is
American
November 1st? I mean, no, American Thanksgiving is like
for playoffs.
For the traditional, like that's like a lot of the people use that, but Elliot Friedman, who says a lot, like in like the hard cap area, if you're 4 points or more out of a playoff spot on November 1st, you're like 72% not making the playoffs.
That's crazy. That's really hard to believe.
4 points out of a playoff spot?
4 points or more out of a playoff spot on November 1st. you have a 72% chance of missing the playoffs.
Blackhawks are currently 2 points out of a playoff spot.
But they were 4 points out on November 1st.
If they beat the Sharks,
it's November 2nd now.
If they'd beaten the Sharks,
what?
they'd be 0 points out of a playoff.
Yeah, they'd be in a playoff spot.
Print those playoff tickets now.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
And I know, look, I'm not saying, and someone in the chat said, like, Jay, are you saying, like, they're just here for the money? No. I just think it's natural. Like, you started a new company. Let's say you're at a company for 23 years, and then you started a new one and keep that job for 6 months. You're like, I don't really know these people. Right? Like, I don't.
Sounds like you're speaking
That's
from
personal experience. Yeah.
I'm talking about the gap between here and between the score and here. When I spent my time at WBBM, it wasn't that I wasn't invested. I had to get to know people.
You were
Yeah.
a trade deadline acquisition.
Yeah.
You were just waiting to get out and get that big
Right.
contract.
Yeah.
First round playoff exit. You're just ready.
I can't go to war for Lisa Fielding when I've known Lisa Fielding for 10 minutes.
You Tyler Johnson.
You know what I mean? Like, it's I think it's a natural thing. So
Yeah, no,
but we're getting to that point now where, okay, enough of this nonsense. Like, figure it out. And the fact that they're 2 points out of a playoff spot, that's pretty miraculous.
well, I think, having the 4-game road trip to start the year. This is a 5-gamer, right? 5 games. They've gone through 4. 5th game.
Yeah.
Then they come back. Yeah, this is a 5-game road trip. So, through your first 14 games of the year, 9 of them are on the road. Like, that gives you an opportunity to, like you were saying, like, gel with some teammates and kind of figure out, for the new guys, you're kind of forced to kind of figure out, how you guys interact with each other, feel like a team together. And, this is now month 3, basically, entering month 3 of them practicing together and playing together and starting to learn their tendencies, counting, training camp and all the way up to now. So I would like to think that this is enough time for a lot of these new guys, and there's 9 to 10 new faces, depending on how you consider Taylor Hall, even though he was here last year. Like, he's basically a new face too. Like, these guys are all, they've had a lot of time now. So I would like to think that by now we can start to have some more chemistry across the team rather than just, these 2 guys here, these 2 guys there have chemistry. Like, start to find some chemistry between the entire roster, find a flow to the season. And this game could be one of those points where it, like, I'm not saying like a turning point and now they're going to go on a playoff run, but like kind of turn a little bit of a corner where, okay, we didn't play well the entire game, but we played well in small pockets. We came together and dug down when we needed to, and we were able to steal 2 points from a game that we did not deserve to do. If they can carry this into the Anaheim game and hopefully come away with another 2-point effort, you come home feeling a lot better
3-2.
You come home feeling a lot better about yourself.
Yeah. And a game you should have won in San Jose and a game you could have won in Dallas. I mean, that's a very successful road
Not
trip.
for Nick Foligno trying to redirect a puck.
I mean,
all his fault. But I mean, to use, our friends at What Chaos's favorite term, one of their favorite terms, could this game be a galvanizing effort for the Blackhawks to kind of bring the team together? Be like, look, we have it in us to steal games. Let's go out and win one wire to wire,
I would just like to see them, just like you said, wire to wire. Come out, get a 2-goal lead, make it a 3-goal lead, then maybe it's 3-1, then it's 4-1, then it's 5-1, and let's just go home and not have to, like, they need one of those badly. And I hope it comes. By the way, speaking of What Chaos, we should do a like spike right now because we got a lot of people watching, which we appreciate, but not enough likes. Make it make sense. Please hit that like button for us. It helps us out big time with our visibility, our findability on YouTube. So please hit that like button for us. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. We would greatly appreciate that. We've got to get to the 4-star of the game. We're going to pay off Who's Your Hawk. Anything else we need to cover in depth here before we get to those segments? I do think we should probably shout out Lucas Reichel a little bit for that individual effort on the Craig Smith goal.
yeah.
He is skating with such confidence. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about it during the game where he's winning board battles. He's winning one-on-one battles. Yes, playing with a purpose. I am very surprised based on how last season went and how awful he was in this preseason that we're seeing this Lucas Reichel, but I'm super happy I'm super happy for him because you could see it getting to him mentally, and like, I know what I'm supposed to do, I just can't do it. Now he's doing it, and don't just leave him there. Leave him where he's at. I don't need to promote him. Just say, hey, we would love to promote you. You're doing a great job, but you're too important to the fourth line. I love the way he's playing right now.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, he might not stylistically fit with Connor Bedard. Like, we've seen multiple opportunities of him playing with Bedard together, and I think if he continues to play well, the voices and the volume of play him with Bedard is going to get louder. But I feel like maybe stylistically it's better because Bedard's a guy that demands the puck. As much as he still likes to distribute.
Give it to me so I can pass it.
Yeah, he's a guy that demands the puck and is better with the puck on his stick. Like, that's undeniable. I feel like Reichel is in a position with Maroon and Smith where he's also demanding the puck, and he's better with it on his sticks in that situation. So I don't know if putting Bedard with Reichel on a top line is a good option, because I think you take away a little bit of that like fire that Reichel can have to be aggressive with the puck, because anybody that plays with Bedard, even if you don't want to admit it, like, there's going to be that in the back of your mind, that little voice that's saying like, try and get it to Bedard. Like, he's really good. Like, so I think keeping Reichel split from him, if you want to try him in that in a second line role, like if you want to move around Foligno, Hall, Bertuzzi, kind of jumble with it with that, I'm fine with that, because as we were kind of talking over the last few days about the forward line groups, the top line relatively seems fine. The third line, with Mikheyev, Donato, and Dickinson before Donato was moved up for this game, that was pretty solid. And the fourth line with Reichel, Maroon, and Smith was pretty solid. So really it was that second line that you're kind of like, that seems like a spot where you can tinker with. But I don't know. I feel like Reichel, if you want to try and give him a promotion, put him in some role in the second line. But I'm also fine keeping him on the fourth line because it's really working.
Don't mess with stuff.
I'm not changing that line as much as, like, Lucas Reichel's not a fourth line player. That's really not your typical fourth line right now.
Right.
I think Lucas Reichel is
your second power play unit.
I mean, it's working. I think Reichel plays his best when he's the best player on his line.
Yeah.
Some guys need better players around them to bring out their best. I actually think Reichel is the opposite of that. When he's got better players on there, he wants to just defer to those guys and doesn't have that aggressiveness that we've been seeing, that confidence. When he's the best player on the ice, I think it gets in his brain where he's like, all right, it's up to me to make this happen. We saw it today. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to get up the ice, and then I'm going to get in the zone, skate by a couple guys, find the open man, boom. Like, I think he's the best. He's at his best when he knows, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm the best player on this line. If this line's going to create any kind of offense, I have to do it. Where if he's on a line with Teuvo and Bedard, he's going to be like, well, those guys can do it, and I'll just pick up the table scraps.
Right. I'm with you. That makes all the sense in the world, and it's, like you said, it's working. Interesting quote here from Ben Pope. Says, Luke Richardson said the Hawks made an adjustment in the third period, shifting their breakouts to the weak side, and that helped them get through the neutral zone better. So there you go. Coaching adjustments.
Nice. Good to see them work out.
There you go. There's also some profanity-laden comments from Nick Foligno on Ryan Donato's shootout move.
How dare he?
We don't practice shootouts much, but holy S, that was a nice goal. Yes, it was. Foligno also, via Ben Pope, says, we obviously know we can play better and need to play better, but to find a way to come back in this game and get it done is a testament to the guys in here, and honestly, probably the hockey gods, too. We probably deserved to win in San Jose and didn't. Here, we probably didn't deserve to win, but we got the win. Yep. So, accurate. That is accurate. All right. One comment I want to address here before we get to 4-star and Who's Your Hawk. Someone in there can't believe the price of the takeover. It is Miggy. Says, I'm confused. Do I really get a Hawks ticket and the extras for $70?
Yes.
Yes, unless you're a diehard. Then you get all that for $55.
Yeah.
Yep, we will see you next Sunday there, Miguel Cabrera. I'm really looking forward to
Yeah, that'll be fun.
hanging out. I bet you he brings his own scotch.
If you don't know what Miggy is talking about, maybe you jumped in late. We have our first takeover of the season next Sunday, November 10th against the Minnesota Wild. Yep, you get a ticket to the game, but guess what? Before the game, we're all going to meet at Fifth Third Arena for a pregame skate, pregame meal, locker room, and facilities tour, and then head on over. So all the fun begins at 7:30. Puck drop is at 7. I'm sorry. All the festivities begin at 3:30. The puck drop is at 7. So we'll go from Fifth Third over to United Center. And yes, your ticket includes all of that. Ticket to the game and the pregame festivities.
Yes.
Why is it so affordable, fellas? Because our friends at Circus Sports are helping get it done. They are sponsoring this event, making it much more affordable for all of us to attend. So show up, bring a friend, and if you want to save, you want to get that ticket down to $55, allchgo.com, become a diehard today.
Someone in our diehard Discord was confused about the pregame skating. Pregame skating is at Fifth Third Arena.
At Fifth Third,
So
you can.
If you want to skate
skate
on the Hawks practice ice, you can. It's not required, but you could take the tour of the locker room,
Part of it, yeah.
get some chicken tenders, and then skate off those calories, and then head over to the game.
Or
Last year,
you skate and then you eat.
yeah,
Or you eat before and after.
and then you puke on the ice.
Or you eat and don't skate.
Or you eat while skating.
I'm going to eat and watch people
Ooh,
skate.
There you go.
Take your tendies on the ice with you.
So jump in on that. Yes, everyone's saying, what a great promotion. Yes, that's the idea.
We
That's
know.
what we do here. We're not kidding. Yes, that's the point. That's what we're telling you about it. But last time it was a taco truck.
Yeah.
They had like all the steak and chicken and carnitas and tons of it. Was awesome. So yeah, it's
Getting
really
tacos on
worth
the way
it.
home now. Thanks for making that decision.
Oh, I'm making a run for the border on the way home for sure. That's happening 100%. Okay,
Like that guy from
let's
Michigan.
do let's do the 4-star of the game, shall we? We had 4 nominees in this one. Your choices were Lucas Reichel. He had an assist, +2, and a big blue line. Good for him. Nick Foligno with a goal in a fight. Peter Mrazek stopped 37 of 40 shots, and Ryan Donato with the shootout winner and the primary assist on the game-tying goal. Nate, who is the winner?
40%.
40%. Nice.
Shocking.
He deserves it. Peter Mrazek was
Absolutely.
great. Definitely kept the Hawks in this game and deserves to be the 4-star.
Made
So
the
congrats to him.
Shootout defining save on the second
Yeah,
shooter
yeah.
of the shootout.
That was a big move right there, and a great game for Peter. Gets a well-deserved day off tomorrow. Arvid Soderblom gets the Ducks.
He gets
So-
he gets a mandated day off.
Yep. And
Take-
then
take
the
the day
Hawks have
off.
a few days off. They'll get 2
Come
days
back
off.
on
They don't
Wednesday,
play
right?
till Wednesday, so go out
Against
and
Detroit.
go out and win.
Detroit.
Go out and win tomorrow.
Thank you, Elliot. All right, let's do the Hoosier Hawk winner. I just
All right,
get this
Hoosier
tattooed
Hawk.
on my chest at this point.
Oh yeah, all
Yeah.
those Stanley Cups won on November 2nd.
They all count.
Yes. So yeah, as you could tell, Jay was our winner, picking Ryan Donato. Slipped all the
Yeah.
way to the 3 spot. You got 6.5 points from him.
Donato was the new Bedard, baby.
Seth Jones, rough day for him.
Still got
Still
me
put up
4.5
4.5 points. And then Connor
No
Bedard.
shots on goal for Seth Jones.
Only 1 shot attempt today by Seth Jones, which is the exact opposite of the last game.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard, 2.5 points. Jay, you're the season leader at 44.5. Put some distance there. Gained some points today. But Mario closed the gap on second. So close race here.
Yeah.
Long
It's all right.
way to go.
Long season.
Long way.
There's going to
go.
be a game this year where one of our picks scores like 16 points.
Yeah.
And everybody else gets like 3. Like,
Yep.
It's going to
It's
happen.
going to happen.
Eventually.
That's for sure. I want to thank our buddy Aaron Greep, AG Design 103 on Instagram, for supplying us with our swag chain. If you want to get anything 3D printed from Aaron,
It's so swaggy.
look him up, AG Design 103. He's a
And-
student at HF High School with a little side hustle. So we appreciate Aaron getting us the swag chain.
Shout out to
HF
our diehard Discords. Another perk for being a diehard. They're doing our buddy Dead Hawk there in the chat. He's running the Who's Your Hawk competition there for the diehard Discord. He's got 32 people playing on a daily basis.
That's great.
Nice.
They had 6 winners tonight.
I was going to say.
Holly, Evil Bill, and Crimson Ice. I almost said that way wrong.
Oh boy.
They all had Tyler Bertuzzi and Goose
Nice.
Tubiaco, Austin Tamor, and RJK all had Foligno, so they all tied. And apparently,
Wow, Howie didn't have Reichel?
no.
Oh, we got to tell him.
We're going to tell Lucas on
we're
Tuesday.
gonna
We
tell
see
him,
him. Your
Howie.
biggest fan has sold you out the river. And they're doing a monthly competition, and the winner who gets the most points in November is going to get a CHGO Hawk shirt.
Nice.
So shout out to Dead Hawk
Who's
for running
supplying that?
I don't know.
Wasn't me.
That's a Discord thing.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I
yeah.
love our
Audience participation
CHGO
is
Hawks
awesome.
community.
So yes, if you want to
Great
join in
stuff.
on that, become a diehard, save that big money, but there's not much time left to get that special introductory offer. But
Yeah.
so many reasons to become a diehard. And that's
Maybe a
just one
day
of
or
them.
two.
Yeah, it's
Wink, wink.
not too much longer.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Become the diehard.
Do it now.
Grab your takeover ticket now, because soon you won't be able to do either.
Before we go, if you didn't watch enough hockey already today with the
Yes.
Blackhawks game, the Rockford Ice Hogs, they are going to drop the puck in about 5 minutes, and they are taking on the Chicago Wolves. That game you can find free on the AHL's
Flow hockey.
YouTube and Facebook page, I believe, and then Flow Hockey as well has it free today. So
It's running on Flow Hockey's Twitter right now, too. You just log onto their Twitter
Yeah.
page, and it's just
it's
right
the
there.
free game of the week or month or something like that. But yeah, Ice Hogs and Chicago Wolves for free, starting in about 5 minutes at 7 p.m. Central Time. If not, to just watch the future of the Blackhawks organization take it to the Wolves tonight. Check out the Ice Hogs jerseys.
Yeah.
They are sweet.
Los
It is
Cerdos.
Day of the Dead.
They're
And
sweet.
they are honoring that with black jerseys with just some really awesome it's Mexican Heritage
Mhm.
Day of the Dead?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, just awesome designs, and the colors are great.
Yeah,
So
those are
check those out. And
cool.
I think those are going to be available for auction as
They
well.
usually do that. Yes, they usually wear them in the game, autograph them, and then auction them off.
Cool stuff.
By the way, real quick quote, just I saw here, Luke Richardson on giving Teuvo 0 shifts in overtime. Quote, I went with the guys who had a little more skating legs at that point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there is something to Teuvo not being 100%. If after 12 and a half minutes of ice time, he didn't have legs.
You gotta
see.
want it.
see.
And as Holly points out, Levshinov Korchinski is the top pairing in Rockford tonight.
Mhm.
Just got a text from Reichel, said very disappointed in Holly. Crying emoji.
Yes.
Well,
He's no
Damn.
pop rocks for Holly.
all right. We'll talk to everybody. Yep. Tomorrow we got pregame before the Hawks and Ducks. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock puck drop. We'll be here. Hopefully you will too. If you've not hit the like button yet, please do so. We got 224 likes.
Nice.
We need several more of those. So do it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow right here at 6:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
Fade to black.